What's up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to the Locker Room Rant. Tonight, I have Mariah from the 49 Faithfully podcast as my co-host. Mariah, what's up, fam?
What's up? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Unfortunately, Tony is very sick this evening. His son has brought home yet some more germs. And Nick, unfortunately, had to work, or fortunately had to work for my sake. Fam, let's get into this, right? San Francisco defeats Dallas to move on to the NFC Championship game. Dallas is now 0-7 since 95. Is it 94 or 95? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, one of them.
It is what it is. But I have this picture that I love. It's this right here. Do you see this? This is everything to me right here.
Yep.
Trent just laughing. It's just great. And I'm so glad. I'm going to use it always. But yeah. So we knock them out, right? And we move on to see the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Give me your thoughts, just slightly, and we'll go back and we'll talk about the rest of the games. But just give me your thoughts on Philly. You know.
Well, I think that this is the most nervous I've been before a game probably all season, and obviously for a couple of reasons. One, because obviously it's do or die, right? Either we win or we go home. But because just this Eagles team is just so stacked. Like they're a very good football team. Very good on offense, very good on defense, special teams. I think this is the most complete team, obviously, that we're going to face up until this point. They didn't only lose one game with Jalen Hurts by accident. You can say, oh, well, the teams they played, blah, 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 they're weak. You could say that about every team, like people are saying that about us, so like I've always been like a person that's like, you can only play who's in front of you. So like, I don't really, that's whatever. The fact is that, it's any given Sunday and they went out there and they won all those games. But, the 49ers are also on a win streak. They're the hottest team in football right now. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Like both of these games this weekend are going to be great. And I think that if you look at it, there's sometimes when you get to this point in playoffs that you look at the teams and it's like, how's that team in there, right? Like, I think you can actually look at it right now and say the best four teams in football are the best four teams left in the playoffs. And that makes for really good football. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
So, we always, as 49er fans, we always hear that we struggle particularly with mobile quarterbacks, right? But I've always thought about it, and I can't think of a team that can defend a mobile quarterback, right? So are you good at defending mobile quarterbacks because you're willing to take a player out of coverage and spy that guy? Like for us, we're not willing to do it. Right. We are just not going to take anyone out of coverage. Do you think we should? Do you think we should start, because Fred Warner can keep up with the best of them. And in some cases, if we were to bring Huff and spy Hurts, would it be crazy? Would it? Do you think we'll see something different with how we approach a mobile threat this Sunday? Because I sure do. I think that we have to add. I think we should. I actually think that we should change it up because we've never done it different, right? So they wouldn't see it coming.
I'm on the complete opposite side. Like, I don't think right now is the time to be making changes, especially a big one like that. They've got to this point where they are like playing this style of defense. So now on the most important games on the line, and you're going to tell them to go out there, change up everything that they've been doing, and still play as fast, still play as hard, physical. And I think that that's going to be a big difference. And I think that I'll have to now think, okay, now I'm doing this instead of this. I'm not used to doing this. I just don't think it's smart to be making changes at this stage.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's say hi to the folks in the chat real quick. Fam, Raf, good to see you, my man. First one in the door. Like and subscribe, everyone. We appreciate you, man. Tony, I see you, bro. I hope you're feeling better, my man.
Feel better.
Roy Boy, I see you, brother. Good to see you. Hey, it's Nick. Cool Nick from the Kingdom Live. What's up, my man? Tanya, good to see you. We see you and we appreciate you. Joel, I see you. Scott, what's up, fam? Scott's definitely going to give Tony a hard time. JT, I see you, my man. Guys, I appreciate you guys rocking out with us tonight. We're 2 men short, and I really appreciate the support. So, out of the games that you saw this week, Mariah, tell me which game stood out the most, who looked the strongest, and who looked the weakest, who deserved to go home?
Oh, that's a good question. Right off the top of my head, the game that sticks out the most is the Kansas City game, just because obviously we saw Mahomes, go down with the injury. And I know that even me not being a Kansas City fan and all that, like even my heart stopped for a minute. Like, you just don't want to see injuries happen, especially to one of the best football players in football, So then to see him come out and that, then you're wondering, like, is he even going to finish the game? Is he going to come out? Like, are they going to end up losing this game because Mahomes can't play? Like, we see the man go out there and he's literally playing on one leg. Like, he would drop back and he's hopping the entire time. And I'm like screaming the whole time, like, how can that defensive line not get to Mahomes when he's literally on one leg? Like, he's back there all day to throw and hop around. And it was the craziest thing. And somehow Kansas City still makes it through and wins that game. Like, and then to find out he has an ankle sprain, a high ankle sprain, something that most, we've seen. Obviously, the 49ers know this injury very well. And our players are out 4 to 6 weeks with that injury. Yet he comes right back into the game, plays, and says, I'll be playing next week. Like, that's just
Dude's
crazy.
Tough.
Yeah.
This dude's tough. My God.
Let me see. Let me look real quick what the other games were.
JT, I think he's going to be tough to defend as well, man.
Oh yeah, the
strongest
Bills.
addition was AJ Brown. Sorry, dude. That addition to that team, it just makes them ultimately, they're so deep in the like deep routes. Talk about giving up deep routes. Can you imagine AJ Brown ripping us on the outside over and over and over again? That's like a nightmare that I had. Probably
no, I don't want to imagine.
Jesus.
That Bengals Bills game, like, it's no secret that I'm a Josh Allen fan. Obviously, with everything that's happened to the Bills, I was really pulling for them. With the Damar Hamlin situation, all that. And to see them come out and pretty much they just looked like a Bills team that I haven't seen before. Like, they had no fight, no nothing, like you're seeing them fighting on the sidelines, Diggs yelling at Josh, like it was really strange. And I don't know if it's the Bengals just came in with so much fight because of everything that happened as well. The whole, it has to be on neutral sites, this game, they all felt like they were getting screwed out of everything when they were the nice guys, with the whole situation. And I don't know, they looked like they were ready to play, and the Bills looked like they never showed up. So that was very interesting. I was very surprised in that. But I guess the best team won there. I'm very interested to see how this Kansas City Bengals game is. It's going to be a very good game.
They play each other so well.
Yep.
Cincinnati leading that new rivalry, so to speak. I got to tell you, the Buffalo game not only was I disappointed, but I was just pissed. I mean, I was pissed. They looked so flat, so disorganized. Josh Allen looked terrified. Like, my man, this is your home.
Yeah.
These are your home fans. And yes, it's snowing. What were you wearing? Flip-flops? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. What were you doing? The team, listen, the trenches they lost the battle in the trenches all 60 minutes. They just did not, they looked so light on their feet. They almost looked like they were trying to maintain their balance and not slip and give up a big play. That essentially it cost them the game. Like, they couldn't defend the pass. I understand that the snow falling makes it hard, but Cincinnati didn't have a hard time.
Exactly.
Like, they were dicing up your secondary. Joe Burrow was dicing them up. And there were a few offensive linemen, I think, that filled in, and you would have never have even known it. You would have never have known it. Like, Cincinnati came to play.
Yeah.
Obviously, a team here in Ohio that's familiar with the conditions. You know, the cold and the snow is no surprise to them. But Buffalo, I feel like the Buffalo Bills Mafia, they love the snow. They absolutely, snow games up here up north are supposed to be so much fun.
Yeah, like
you're
that's
supposed
football.
to dominate. That's
Yeah.
football. That's their football. Like, they love this. And to know that Buffalo shit the bed in front of their home fans on home field, on home turf, like, what the fuck? And folks that are questioning Diggs and like, you know, like, what did you think I am on his side. He is yelling at his quarterback because his quarterback was playing shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, put some nerve in this dude. Where are you? What is going on?
It was just really strange because Josh Allen's normally that entire team, you know, and so to see him like not look like he's giving it his all, like, I don't know, it was just really weird. And like, you have one of the best receivers in football. Like, why are you not throwing the ball up and giving him an opportunity at least? Like, give him a chance to make plays, you know? Like, we've seen the type of plays that guy makes. And
if you're not going to do it, put Diggs in position. Gabe Davis, you hit Gabe Davis one time down the sideline. Like, I'm not impressed. I was not impressed. And for whatever reason, I'm telling you this right now. Their run game coordinator, whoever it is, whoever's in charge of the running game,
yeah, he needs to be fired.
Like, twice. Like, fire him twice.
Yeah.
Fire him and call him back and tell him he's fired again.
Yeah,
Jesus.
like, get Josh some freaking running back help. And they have decent running backs once they get going, but it's like, use them. Like, I don't understand why they don't run the ball. Unless it's Josh running.
Naeem Hines, right? Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Naeem Hines. Yeah.
They've got talent, but they don't run the football. I don't understand. It's like the entire run game is designed for Josh Allen, and you use your running backs for just what, cleanup? To me, it's such a backwards offense. Like, I'm not good with it. I'm not good with. I wanted to see Kansas City Buffalo. This is what I really wanted to see. You know, I know. What's up, Coach? I see you, family. Thanks for stopping by. Denise, I see you, fam. Bashar.
You're welcome.
I wanted to see
Tony.
Buffalo. Oh, I see him. Tony said, yeah, I called Tony and we talked, and he was like, we're a team built for a dome. We show up in October and we cannot play ball in January. Like, it's like the snow hits and they beat Miami. And I think it was snowing just as much, if not more.
Yeah.
You would think that Buffalo came from down south.
Well, I mean, they
I
barely
don't
beat
know.
Miami, and Miami was on their third string quarterback. So I mean,
That's true. That's true. That's true. I don't know. I think it was maybe the biggest disappointment out of the postseason, especially in the divisional. I think that Buffalo was by far the most disappointing.
yeah,
And I'd be surprised to find anyone that disagreed, because the Giants didn't deserve to be there. Jacksonville played tough.
yep,
Jacksonville and Cleveland are the only two teams that have had an opportunity to knock the Chiefs out of contention. Period. Both times. Now the Browns had it easier, in my opinion, because Mahomes was out indefinitely.
yeah.
They just couldn't beat Henny. Right? They just couldn't beat him. And then, Jacksonville, my God, you guys had an opportunity, but that line protected as good as it gets. So
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they couldn't get through to freaking Mahomes when he's literally hopping on one leg back there playing hopscotch. Like, come on.
Yeah, I was impressed. I mean, I always say that the guys over at the Chiefs podcast, Scott, Nick, and Bo, since knowing those guys within the last year or so, gotta be honest with you, and knowing Scott even last year, I appreciate the Chiefs more, and it almost therapeutically helped me get past the Super Bowl loss, because I have taken an interest in their team, and I'm starting to see, watching their show, like, I understand both sides of the ball. I see all their playmakers. Like, it's impressive. Like,
Yeah.
Mahomes is tough. You're not going to catch me saying a bad thing about Patty Mahomes.
No.
I just, there was a time where I couldn't say enough bad things. Okay. After that Super Bowl, I was disgusted. But honestly, the dude's great. He's just a great quarterback, But I agree with you. I think the Final Four teams that are going into, that are fighting for a spot in the Super Bowl, they deserve to be here. Like I said, the Giants did not put up a fight. And I know that Philly looked like a juggernaut in that game. They looked dominant. But I mean, look, it's any given Sunday. Teams match up differently, right? We may have struggled with the Dallas pass rush on that right side, and we may do better. We may play better. We may match up better against Philly. I don't know. Time will tell. But I do know one thing, that Mike McGlinchey cannot, off the line, he gets beat. If he can hold his base and anchor and square up, he To me, the Philly defense is going to be quite possibly the best defense. If not, I say Dallas set the bar, right? Mm-hmm. Dallas kind of set the bar. You're going to be as good at rushing the quarterback or a bit better. But the bar was definitely set with Dallas.
Yeah.
And I thought Purdy handled it well. I do. I thought he handled it well.
I thought Purdy handled it well. I didn't think our O-line handled it well.
No. Quite specifically the right side, so to speak. It was a long day. It was definitely a long day. That photo of McGlinchey getting hip tossed. Like, my dude, why?
How is that even possible?
I don't know. I watched it in replay, and it's like Micah got under him, like under his arm, and he didn't even use his knee or his thigh. He just rolled him, like he just used sheer upper body strength and flipped McGlinchey like a rag doll.
It's like, you shouldn't be almost 300 pounds, and you're like this in air. Like, I don't know. That's crazy.
It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts.
And what's crazy is that's not the first time we've seen something like that with him,
No. Whose DB was it that pancaked him? There was a DB that literally ran him over. and we were disgusted, right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can't
we were
remember, but
so pissed. I can't remember either. Somebody in the chat will remind us. But my God, if there's a highlight tape of you getting swung, luckily for you, Micah took care of it, because if the DB pancaking you was a highlight, this is at least something for the ages, because that was embarrassing. That was tough. That was tough to watch.
I will say though that the videos of all the plays of Trent Williams and Parsons going against each other, that's some good football right there. Man,
Yeah.
Trent Williams, whew, like the speed in his feet and like his feet movement with his like hand movement. Like it's crazy. Like how we just said, it's crazy that a guy as big as Mike shouldn't go flying through the air like that. It's crazy that a guy as big as Trent Williams like can move the way that he can. Like how I can't even move my feet that fast, not even freaking 30 years ago. Never, like how's that big of a human like able to move, is fast and just so swift like that. Like it's crazy. He's really good.
He is. We're lucky to have him. I think he gave up one pressure.
One pressure, yeah.
Was it one pressure?
Yep.
Just an insane. I think, looking at the Philly depth chart, I see you, Coach. I think we should be able to run the ball better. I think they're ranked 16th versus the run, which is kind of crazy to me, because when you look at these guys, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat, Robert Quinn, Hassan Reddick, Bradbury's in the backfield. Darius Slay is probably my biggest concern as far as their secondary. I love Darius Slay.
Yeah.
I love him he is one of my favorite in the league. What's up, Vince? Glad to have you, man. Thanks for supporting us, brother. Good to see you. But when you hear Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and Josh Sweat, do you think that they're stronger? They must be stronger in pass protection than they are in run, right? So
yeah, the
run defense is ranked lower than I thought. I honest to God could not believe it. Bashar and I were talking about it. Yeah. Sue was definitely a pickup, man. I forgot about Sue. Jesus. I mean, Bashar and I were talking about it earlier today, and we were talking about the run, and he was like, I'm surprised that they're ranked lower than I thought, and I had to agree. Now, so I said this, after the Dallas game, we live to see another game, right? We defeated Dallas, and at halftime, I was really curious about like what was going through Purdy's mind at halftime. What was said to him? What kind of pep talk? What were they doing? What were they adjusting? How was Mike McGlinchey? What was his plan? What was McGlinchey's plan? To make some adjustments, like, and I think that we're so fortunate to have another week to prepare, another full week to prepare and get right for Philly. Right here in Youngstown, I believe they're in town. They should be coming into town. I really want to go. I really, really want to go and like stalk the hell out of them wherever they're at. It would be a lot of fun, but I just don't want to get arrested.
You said, they got to eat and stuff. They got to go.
They got to eat. They
got to do something.
So where are they going? Like, this is what I need. I need to find out where they're going so that I can just be like, a fly on the wall. But tell me, what matchups are you most excited for and least excited for?
Well, least excited for, it's going to be, well, and I don't know if maybe not least, I would just say I think it's going to be a really good matchup is the trenches on both sides. Like you just talked about the Eagles defensive line. We know that they led the league in sacks. I do think, however,
dude, they like 70, I think, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's leading history. They're right up there with the 2000 Ravens, I think. Like,
yeah,
we're talking like some insane. That's a stat that will scare me because I think we're a little over 40.
Yeah.
I think we're a little over 40 combined. So go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's crazy. But it seems to me that the Cowboys pass rushers were faster than the Eagles are more powerful, I think. So with that being said, I think that as long as when we throw, Purdy has to get the ball out of his hands fast. He has to speed it up, especially going, against guys like that. And then I would, I think that we need to run the ball, stick to the freaking run, run it down their freaking throats 35 plus times, run the ball. Like, if they're that bad against the run and they excel the highest against the pass, why, don't plan on going into the game passing freaking 20 plus times. Take care of your young quarterback. Don't put him in that situation. So I think that matchup on both sides, we obviously know how our defensive line is. It'll be interesting with the news that came out today, what they're going to do with the defensive line, where they're going to have Drake Jackson active and have him play that opposite ends, or, what'll go on. But I feel like our defensive line just hasn't been living up to the standards these last few weeks. Bosa's gone, a couple weeks now without no sacks. So we really need them to step it up this week. The Eagles' offensive line is a great top in the league. So we really need that defensive line to come to work. So I think that's a battle on both sides. I think our linebackers, obviously Fred Warner put on a clinic this last week against the Cowboys. So I'm really looking forward to see, our linebackers against their running backs, against Jalen Hurts. We're going to need everybody to be their whole thing, swarm to the ball. We're definitely going to need that because Jalen Hurts is fast. We know that, he'll run in for touchdowns. He's good. They've definitely put a lot of work into him. He's come a long way, so he's playing great football, MVP candidate this year. So it's going to take everybody on that defense. The matchup I'm kind of most worried about is Charvarius Ward against whoever, because I just feel like everybody's been putting so much hate on Diamador Lenore going into the games. Oh, we're worried about him getting burnt, Yet he went back-to-back playoff games now with interceptions. Charvarius Ward's the one that's been getting burnt. And you're supposed to be our number one lockdown corner. I expect that Diamador Lenore is going to give up passes. He's our third string. Come on, and I think he's been playing hella good for, that, especially off of not playing last year. But we paid all this money to Charvarius Ward to be our number one lockdown corner, and that's what you're supposed to be, and you haven't been, so I'm worried about, both of them actually against, their wide receivers. They have over 1,000-yard wide receivers on their team, and that's going to be a hell of a matchup. That entire offense is just, star power. They put up points. So I think how this Dallas game was a defensive battle, I'm expecting this to be more of high scoring game. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, it's the secondary for me entirely. Okay. I mean, I agree with you on everything else, but the secondary in San Francisco concerns me the most. This matchup, Devonta, AJ Brown, even Godert. How do you say his name? Godert, whatever.
Goddard.
Goddard, whatever. Yeah. Just it's lethal because of Hurts's mobility. Essentially, that's where this pass rush must get home. Just get home. I mean, it's going to be if you don't. Now, here's the thing. They're exhausted. Bosa just looked exhausted in the final 3-4 minutes of the fourth quarter. Just spent, right? I mean, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
He had a long day. Okay. Now Omenihu and whatever bullshit he got himself into now, of course. I mean, just of course, like this would happen, you know. And I don't want to go too far into it because I don't know all the details and I don't even know what's going to happen. Um, you know, so I'm just that bums me out.
Yeah.
Because he's crucial, and Kinlaw's just been, a fraction of himself since he's been back, right?
Non-existent. Like after each game, I keep thinking, like, did he even play? Like, like I don't even remember him playing throughout the game.
No. And when you watch it back, I watched it back today. It's just, what are you doing, dude? What is going on? Like, what the hell are you people doing? Carry Hyder this, Carry Hyder that. Like, will you guys do something?
Yeah.
What about Ibukam? Like, what's he doing? Like, there's speed. We were hoping for speed out of this dude. Like, Drake Jackson must be active. Like, I am hoping and praying for it. Like,
yeah,
I get it, you guys. I get it. Like, 49ers Twitter is just not just dead set that this kid cannot defend the run. Okay, I mean, look at what are you basing it off of? Like, let's get the kid in here, get him some reps and some high stakes opportunities. Like, he might surprise you.
Yeah.
His speed, we've got to try something different. We're not getting home.
And we could really use that speed against Hurts.
We really could, because essentially, and maybe that's part of it, right? Maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're like, if we get here, Ibukam, Drake Jackson, how can you move him around, and get some speed, and really make Hurts uncomfortable. I agree, Chrissy. Like, we need to smack some sense into him. I do. Like, it's just, to me right now, San Francisco is, I'm terrified, but equally as excited. And I get scared every week. I do, because every week I feel like, I say we need to see more from Purdy, or what can Purdy do against this particular defense that he couldn't do against that particular defense, right? We faced some opponents that weren't we've never seen a defense like Dallas all season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus Brock Purdy, and Brock was good. Brock was this kid. I'm confident. So I know you and I aren't too crazy about Fox Sports and all the bullshit that we hear from everybody, but on the show that Acho does with Joy Taylor, I think it's called Speak. I don't know what the hell it's called. Whatever. They were talking about the performance gap between Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts. Okay. And I think that it's fair to say that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. And he's settled in, right? He's a franchise quarterback. There's no doubt now. Like, if there was any doubt last season, there's no doubt now. So, do you see a performance gap outside of Jalen Hurts' mobility? Because that's what separates him from Brock, right? And take away the weapons on both sides. And do you see a performance gap that's just gigantic between Brock and Jalen Hurts?
Gigantic? No. I would say Hurts has a stronger arm at this point. Mm-hmm. And I would say this, probably in 3 years of Purdy getting starting experience and everything like Jalen Hurts has, I would say that is a very slim margin in between the two, taking the running aspect out, of course. But yeah, I would say that it's not that big of a gap right now.
Yeah. So experience for you and I think we can agree. It's just, it's kind of wild, because if in fact the right side of the line held up better versus Dallas, if just gave Brock another second to really set his feet, he hit throws. He hit throws. And anybody that discredits that, like, watch it. Go back and watch it. YouTube the highlights and watch Brock hit some of his throws. Tight windows, great throws with very little time to do it. Like, a lot of teams have more time. Look at Mahomes. He can't evade the rush, right? He didn't even have to versus Jacksonville.
Right.
With a bum leg, with a bum ankle, he could stand there and still pick his poison, right? So
Purdy couldn't even get his feet set. That's how much time he had. Like,
it was just, and that's where the performance gap for me is just Brock Purdy is definitely going to be a problem in this league. Brock is a good quarterback, and he's showing this week in and week out. And when you listen to these talking heads on television and they say that, is Brock Purdy it? Like, he is what it is, guys. Like, this is what it is. He's the third string quarterback, right? We can say this ad nauseum. 7th round pick versus 2nd round pick in the NFC Championship game. That's the gap. Between, if you take away the mobility from Jalen Hurts, the performance gap is that one guy was drafted second in the 2nd round and one guy was drafted in the, dead last in the 7th. So, you can make that assessment. We could talk about this when it's over, right? Because they saw one another in college and they both threw for over 330 yards. Hurts pulled that game out. I can't remember what the final score was, but both were in a shootout. Okay. So they, and I get it, fam. It's college. I get it. But this is exciting because the NFC Championship game is Brock Purdy versus Jalen Hurts, and they haven't seen one another since. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
If you really want to chop it up, there's really not much to say other than this is insane. You could take the stats and all the football out of it all, and just the story is insane. Look at where we are. This is crazy to me. Like, it gives me goosebumps because, like, it's exciting for me. I do buy into all that shit. Like, I do love seeing two college quarterbacks at one time facing one another, and they're doing it again in the biggest game of their career. The youngest in the postseason, the youngest to do this. Like, it's awesome. Yeah. This makes for we've always said, like, the story about Brock Purdy is one thing, but I think it's just as awesome saying Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy are about to verse one another in the NFC Championship game. You can't write it any better.
Yeah.
And if it's a shootout once again, we can honestly contend. We can contend. I believe we can. Tony says the Niners have to play a disciplined game. Can't be getting these fucking late hits out of bounds against these dudes. Yeah.
Agree.
I lost my mind. When Dre Greenlaw hit him after Warner pulled back, just put the brakes on and just, you didn't see Fred? Fred's no longer moving. Why are you still running at him? I get it. The momentum, and I understand, but these are the things. This is the disciplined football that we need to play. Otherwise, we're going to pay, and they're going to make us pay. Now, I got to ask you, San Francisco's been giving up a deep ball every game since we played Washington against Heineke, okay, and other quarterbacks like Stidham. And that dude, what's that other dude? Bow. How do you
I
say
don't
his
even know
name?
his name.
No, whatever. Nonetheless, like, is it crazy to me that these cheeks dudes, these butt cheek dudes, are ripping them, and we are getting burnt. Like, it has gotten to the point where, like, I am conditioned for this bullshit, and I just wait for it now. And I knew it was coming versus Dallas. They set up a little later than everyone else. You know, most of the time, you know, these teams are lighting us up early on, getting points on the board. So I ask you this. What are we going to do to stop it? Can it be stopped at this point? Can we or can we not? Because history is this season right now, it seems like we are not doing it. We're just not. So I'm worried about it. Like I'm this team especially, because if Jalen Hurts gets out in the open and if he rolls out and he hits Devonta Smith and AJ Brown and he does it more than once, we got a problem. Like a big problem. So in your opinion, what can we do? What can we do to stop it? Do you see a solution?
Honestly, I don't know, because that's one of the main things I'm worried about. Like I said earlier, like we have a lockdown corner and a second-year guy that's in his first year that's out there giving it his all, but is that enough when it comes down to two wide receivers that are over 1,000 yards? You know, like I don't know. Like
I mean,
that's why I
honestly,
think it's going to come down to an offensive shootout, because I don't know if our defense is going to be able to stop it.
all right, I look at it this way. Our linebackers are as good as they get in coverage, right? I mean, D'Amico's playing quarters defense most of the time, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay. I don't have a problem with them giving up everything in front of them, so to speak. You know, I just wish that we could get them off the field, you know, on third
Yeah.
down, right? And I don't want them to get burnt. I don't want to see them get burnt. Yeah, Tony, you know, Tony is going to scare me to death. It's going to give me nightmares. That's true. We do need to kick the ball out of the end zone on kickoffs. We really do.
Yeah.
We gave Turpin, is that his name?
Yeah.
We gave him opportunities that like the strings of my hoodie like this. You understand? I am doing this. If I'm not stabbing myself in the leg, I'm gagging myself with my hoodie strings. Do you understand? Like, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. I agree, Coach. We definitely need to kick the ball out of the end zone. You know, and we definitely and we can do it. We can do that. The secondary, I honestly don't think that there's an answer for it. I don't think that we have an answer for it. Because if we did, we would have done it by now.
Yeah.
We are not. I mean, I get it too. Like, I totally understand that you're going to pick on Lenore. You're definitely going to pick on Lenore. I understand that. But he's very capable of taking it and taking it from you, and he'll do it. He'll get in front, and he'll get an INT. He might even pick six. The thing is, it's the fact that the kid's being asked to play on the outside, and he's doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that a lot of fans are, you know, they talk a lot of shit about Lenore, you know, but I don't hear you talking shit after the Dallas game.
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, you're concerned. I'm concerned too. But Charvarius Ward has got to step it up, you know. And if Hufanga can definitely wrap up on those tackles, like, you know, there's this whole this rule that we're dealing with now, where Armstead was like afraid to like tackle Dak in the end zone last game. Like, it wasn't about, like, a lot of folks are like, what is he doing? But I mean, he's not even comfortable. he's not even comfortable tackling the quarterback at this point.
Right. And they talked to
You know?
Shanahan about it yesterday, I think it was, and that's what he said that Armstead reasoning was, because he knew it was going to get a 15-yard penalty.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Huff is timing it perfectly. He's getting home, right? He's getting home. You know, just it's wild to me, because I do wonder, like, if he was afraid to tackle Dak also. You know, and we know the size. You know, he's a lot smaller than Dak, so it's like, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, he doesn't want to cost us a costly penalty at the time. He gets home, and he just. It's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It bothers me. It bothers me. Coach Cruz says, I hope we win the toss. The 49ers dominate at the end of halves to start the third. We do, man. We do.
Yeah, I was pissed when I saw we lost the toss, that we didn't, get it to start the half, like this week against the Cowboys. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like it's some big deal, you know?
What's up, Vince? No, Tony's actually really sick today. He gave me a heads up earlier in the week that he wasn't doing well, man, and he wasn't feeling it, man. But it wasn't because of the Bills. Tony's as good as they come when it comes to owning any of it, man. He will own it. Tony will definitely own it. And he's here in the chat too, Vince. He's TCAF31 if you want to talk to him, my man. Yeah, so the secondary definitely concerns me versus these receivers. There's definitely a concern there. But if this pass rush can at least make him uncomfortable, then it's going to be a different game. And it's going to be a great game. And I'm proud of us. I'm super happy that we're here. You know, I just don't want it to end, Mariah. I don't want it to end. Like I've invested so much of my emotions and my health. My heart has taken like an insane amount of stress because of this team this season, because the cardiac games freak me out. But it's like we are just so good at this next man up. Like we are the definition of the next man up mentality. Like we've embraced it, and we have shown you that we've done it since the 2019 run.
Yeah,
we've done it. We've risen above all of that. And I mean, this quarterback is insane. It's insane. Like, I mean, if you told me that Brock Purdy was going to take us to the NFC Championship game, when Jimmy went down, like I was beside myself. I couldn't believe it. The kid has shocked me. And we've said it week after week, like 10 weeks in a row. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, this is our guy, and we are rallying behind him. What did you think? What did you think of Cincy? I want to go back to the Cincinnati. Their receivers are no joke either. They match up well. They match up well against Kansas City. Andy Reid has to get creative. And I don't know what the situation is with Mahomes' ankle, but I'm hoping that they get the best version of Mahomes that they can at this particular time, because nothing pisses me off more than when star players get banged up right before some of the biggest games of the season in their career. So, you know, do you see Cincinnati as a stronger opponent than Kansas City, or hell, even versus Philly or San Francisco? Do you think out of all the teams moving forward, how would you rank their receiving core?
Receiving core with tight ends added, or
sure, like, adding tight ends, because all four teams have badass tight ends.
I mean, you have to have the Bengals number one. I would say Bengals, Eagles, 49ers, Chiefs.
Yeah. I would say I agree. I agree. With the addition of Kadarius Toney in Kansas City has definitely been pretty insane for them. He's really they're using him differently. McKinnon, I don't want to talk about it. I don't give a shit, Scott. You take the McKinnon shit and put it in your pipe and smoke it because I don't give a damn. He's tired legs to me. That's not a name. You see, a lot of Kansas City fans don't really understand this. We did not name him tired legs. This was injury reported. He has tired legs.
Yeah.
We didn't even know what the fuck tired legs are. Like, we don't understand what the fuck tired legs are. All I got to say is he better not have tired legs for you. Okay? You better hope that he doesn't, that one day this week, McKinnon's coming to practice with tired legs because it just shit the bed for us. It was utterly useless for us. I don't want to talk about it. Congratulations. I'm glad he's making you happy. He's giving something to clap about. Good for you. But McKinnon has been good for nothing in San Francisco, period. And he was fucking rude on his way out.
Yeah.
So, fuck that shit.
With this Bengals Kansas City game, I'm wondering how the Chiefs are going to be able to stop all those weapons. I just don't, I know this isn't the popular opinion around here, but I just don't think that Kansas City's defense is going to be able to stop them. I think that the Bengals win this game, especially with Mahomes. Obviously, he's not going to be 100%. They can say he's whatever. He has an ankle sprain. Like, he's not going to even be 75%. So they're going to have to shoot him up with whatever, drug him up, send him out there, and he's going to be hobbled. And I think that that added with just the amount of star power you have on the Bengals, it's just, and they're hot, they're the second, besides us, they're the next hottest team. They're on the win streak. And I think that kind of stuff matters.
Yeah. Listen, I can't take anything away from Kelsey, Scott, and I won't, but he's one man.
Yeah.
He's one man. And, eventually I believe that there's a team that's going to mark him up and make it a bit difficult. And if not, the thing about Cincinnati that I see out of Joe Burrow is he's just as scary in a shootout. Higgins, Boyd, Chase, and in their tight end also. What the hell's his name?
And then Mixon's been running the ball hard.
Mixon's running the ball hard. They've got something going on, man. Kansas City and Cincinnati. I wanted to see the shootout from Josh Allen versus Mahomes, but the better game, the better matchup all the way around, it's Cincinnati, and they've earned it. And both teams have been. It's good football. It's good football. And I know that Kansas City has, you have Mahomes, so you're always in the game. You're always in the game. You got Andy Reid. You have one of the best coaches in football, if not one of the most prolific offensive minds in football. But what's crazy is that the Kansas City fans that I know, and that's not just Bo, Nick, and Scott, it's other fans, they truly do fear Cincinnati. And they're some of the proudest fans to date. And with good reason. But they are afraid. And that was before the injury. Yeah. It was before Mahomes hurt his ankle. That was always the matchup that they're look, we want to see Cincinnati because we want that. We want that matchup, but it makes us uncomfortable. We're not ever as confident as we are against any other opponent than when we play Cincinnati, because for whatever reason, they have our number. And that just goes to show that, when you play your division, division games are always tough. They're always close, and teams within the division always have your number. But outside of the division, Cincinnati gives them the most discomfort. Now, I know Scott is too proud to admit it, but I think Cool Nick would say, I think, they make me nervous. And I definitely know Bo is nervous. because Bo is just, he loves his team, but he's real. He'll tell you straight to your face, like, this concerns me. This team concerns me, X, Y, and Z. So, Scott, I know you're in there, man, and I want you to tell me. Listen, I get it. The Bengals almost lost to the Ravens, but they still play you so much better. You know, that's what's crazy about the game. Some teams just match up differently. You know, the Ravens went up and did one of these. We've said it before. They did the Lion King Simba raise right there on the goal line and shit the bed. I mean, you chop it up to one play, sure, we can. We could say if not for that play, the Ravens might have won that game. But for whatever reason, you know, the football gods had it planned differently. Scott says Chiefs blown the last 3 games with mistakes, penalties, and turnovers. Sure.
That's usually how teams blow games.
That's usually how the teams lose. Yeah, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, I think that for me, I really don't have a favorite in this game. I don't. I just want to see this game.
Yeah,
this is going to be a badass game. I don't have a favorite. I mean, for these guys, naturally, I want to see you guys again in the Super Bowl. I do. I really do. But I think that this is going to be a great matchup. No, they didn't. They didn't, Scott. Cool Nick. You know the reason we call Cool Nick, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Cool Nick says
the other Nick's the dumbass Nick.
Yes, they're a good team, but we just have to play clean and we win. That's true, man. That's true. And I mean, Nick, I think that goes without saying for any opponent in an AFC championship game. For any team, you know, you need to play clean and you want to win, you know. They didn't just beat us or whip us. No, they didn't. And nor should they when you're in such a big game.
Exactly.
You know, that's exactly why I think the Cincinnati-Kansas City rivalry is the biggest AFC rivalry in that conference. It's crazy. It's you know, some more like, and they're young, right? Mahomes and Burrow are young. Like, this could be, we could look at this and say this could be the Dallas 49ers type deal moving forward, right? Like, these guys could go back and forth for the next 5 years, 6 years.
Especially now that these old guys are getting out of the league, like Tom Brady and, you know, all those guys it's been for the last freaking 10, 20 years. And, you know, those old asses are getting out and you're seeing the new young quarterbacks, you know, kind of take over. And, you know, it's going to mean it's good football, at least for the next, you know, 5-10 years. So I'm happy with that. And I will say, if somehow Buffalo did win that game last week and it was Buffalo and the Chiefs, you know, going at it again, you know, this coming up week, I would definitely have the Chiefs in that matchup, even though, you know, I'm a Buffalo supporter. But there's just something with this Cincinnati team. Like, I don't know. Either way, I think it's going to be a close. I don't think, you know, by no means are they going to go in there and, you know, kick the shit out of Kansas City. But I think it's going to be a close game. And, you know, like they've already said, you know, it's going to come down to which team makes the most mistakes, which team gets the most penalties, has turnovers. So, yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. Scott, I get it. You're not scared, man. And I wish I was as confident as you, man. You're a confident son of a bitch, man. I admire you for that, dude. You don't fear a lot, my man. I am nervous when I am nervous. If you're a good opponent, you make me nervous. Quite literally. I have not had a quarterback since Brock Purdy secure my emotions and make me feel confident since Brock Purdy. And even going up against Dallas, I was nervous, and I am just as nervous going up against Philadelphia because I want this badly, and I want it just as bad as you. You know, I want it just as bad as you. But I get it, dude. Like, you know, but that's the way these games should be, right? They should be close games. they're going to be great entertainment, good for football. I mean, good football makes good TV, right? This is why these 4 teams are where they are. And quite frankly, I don't even know if I've ever seen 2 teams or 4 teams just as equally strong. You know what I mean? You know, when we were going up against the Rams last year, you know, everyone had us the favorite because they're like, look, Shanahan has not lost to Sean McVay in the regular season. And that one loss zeroes it all out. You know? And that's just it. Like, right now, Kansas City, Cincinnati to me is going to be must-see football. I mean, crazy. And it's why it's the 6:30 game. You know what I mean? It is. I'm pissed that we're the 3:00 game. I wanted to be the 6:00 game.
I'm not, because I don't want to wait longer. I hate having to. I was supposed to wait for the very last game this freaking last weekend. It took forever.
I have everybody else get to play and chill. I need to do like, I need to meditate, which I can't do anyway because I can't sit still for 15 fucking seconds. But yeah, man, I think that they earned the 6:30 game. They have, you know, they're and Mahomes is the oldest quarterback in this shit, which is crazy. Yeah. That is crazy. You know,
I would love to see Mahomes freaking torch up Eli Apple, though. That's for sure. That's one thing. Because Eli Apple out there running his mouth so much about freaking everything. Like he acts like he locked down the freaking Bills. Like, Josh Allen wasn't freaking throwing the ball to his receivers. It's not because you were freaking locking down the receivers.
Yeah, he's getting
he's out there running his mouth about everything.
Yeah, like, he's feeling himself for sure. Listen, dude, Josh Allen couldn't throw between the snowflakes.
Exactly.
Okay, and you're out here eating up all the limelight because you think you made such a big difference. Mm-hmm. Even as a Buckeye, I wasn't really crazy about Eli Apple. I just wasn't. So you're really not going to get much pushback for me because I couldn't give a shit about Eli Apple.
Yeah, I would love to see Mahomes freaking torch his ass.
yeah, I would too. Because he's just such a cocky son of a bitch, bro. What have you done lately?
Yeah, what have you done ever? He hasn't done shit in the NFL except freaking get burnt. Like, he should shut up about he got burnt so bad in the Super Bowl last year. Like, he shouldn't even speak again until he freaking goes into a Super Bowl and like does the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Because that was a terrible. He got burnt so bad.
Scott says Bengals adding motivation with all the talking Burrowhead and all the nonsense. You know, it's crazy, Scott. Listen, this is how rivalries are born, brother. I mean, this is to be expected. It doesn't surprise me one bit that they're talking shit. I actually want to see all the smoke. You know what I mean? We dealt with it from Dallas and all their fans chanting, "We want San Francisco." You know, the crazy thing is, talking about going back and forth and motivation. I'm not really hearing much from Philly, unless I've now taking these fucking asshats out of Twitter Spaces. I'm talking. Have we really, from mainstream media, have we seen or heard anything crazy from Philly? I don't think I've heard anything. You know, I'm sure it's out there, but I really think that they respect their opponent because they really don't know what to get. They're going to, you know, this is going to be a phenomenal matchup for us as well. JT says, may have already spoken on it, but who was arrested on the 49ers? One of our I think he's a DT, right? Is Omenihu a DT?
Mm-hmm.
We're not really sure, man. His name's Charles Omenihu. We're really not sure. We don't know. He was arrested on suspicion, and I don't even really know what it's going to equate to, JT. But it is something to watch for us because he's been productive in the pass rush for us. And he is essentially a mainstay in this defensive line. So we're sitting patient. and we're hoping that this shit's going to be swept under the rug. There's a lot going on out there. I've read a lot, but I don't want to speculate on it because I end up eating shit anyway. You know what I mean? I'm usually, I'll be wrong because I'll say the wrong thing. And I just know that, just know this, JT, he's an asset to this defensive line. And it's not what I want to hear today. Finding out that he was arrested, it pissed me off. But I don't know what happened. I don't know how. I don't know what the details are. I don't know if it's some he said, she said stuff. There's reports that he shoved his girlfriend down in an argument. And I don't know, man. I really don't know what the validity is to that. Nonetheless, I'm never good on anybody putting their hands on a woman. So, that's the most of it for me, man. I'm not good with that shit. I don't like it. But it would figure, right? This is our luck as Niner fans.
Yeah.
You would, you're as undisciplined off the field as you are on the field. I don't know what to tell you. Like, get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on, people? Yeah. Clearly discipline is a problem on this defense, and we need to tighten it up, and whether it's in your private personal life or it's on the field, I have a problem with it both ways. So that's what it is, my man. That's what it is. If you find out anything more, just let me know, man. Panama, we see you, family. Good to see you.
Hey, Panama.
She says now Eagles media is talking shit. I live near Philly. I expect him to. But I guess it's more so like, have we heard Darius Slay come out?
Players, yeah.
Yeah. Are they at Debo and adding, anybody on the team and really, driving it home, right? I haven't seen it yet. I might have missed it. If you guys have seen it, let me know. But Panama, I expect it. I do. I really do. Speaking of media, how about the Dallas radio host? Kind of karma, right? Karma, right? Little bit. I hate it. Again, I don't want to see. I want to play you at your best, full strength. I want no excuses when you get beat, because already I heard it from my friends. It was a different game when Pollard went out. Like, fuck, do you think I want to hear that? Like, do you think I wanted that to happen to him? I didn't want that to happen to him.
Yeah.
I want to play my opponent at full strength. I don't want any of those excuses. I don't want to beat someone. And even if that's the reason, like, I'm sorry, but that's not by my choice, right? Unfortunately, it's not me. But going back to those hosts, those media hosts, it's kind of fucked up. You don't say this shit. I don't care what you believe in. Don't say that shit. Don't wish injury on your opponent, because karma is a bitch. Karma doesn't wait till Sunday, Karma, I fucking eat shit the moment I eat shit. Yeah. It's just that, it's it. I've never gotten away. I've never had a head start, so it is what it is, right? But it is, that was something that that was something that we heard all week long. We heard it. But you know what? Karma is a bitch, family. And I don't care what you believe in. Just don't wish injury on folks, because there's, the universe is funny about how things happen. I got someone new here in the chat. Jason Vaughn, good to see you, fam. I don't think I've seen you here before. And if I have, I apologize. Tell me where you found out about us and how you got here. Both Hurts and Purdy will be playing in their third playoff game. Who has the upper hand in this matchup? Mariah, go ahead. Take that first.
I mean, we know overall, Hurts has the most experience, in the NFL period, whether it's playoffs or not. I mean, that's all we can really go off of. I mean, luckily for us, it's not just a quarterback team. So we have got to this point because of our stars around our quarterback. If not for them, we probably wouldn't be here with our third string quarterback. Not many teams in the NFL can do that, so, but Hurts has the NFL experience over Purdy. And he's a hell of a quarterback. Can't take that away from him. But I mean, I don't think this game's coming down to which one or not. It's on their third start in the playoffs.
Who has the upper hand for me, Jason? I'm gonna say it's Jalen Hurts, right? He brings mobility to the table, and that's lethal against a team that's not willing to pull a man out of coverage to spy you. So I believe that any team will struggle against a mobile quarterback, because if you're not going to pull someone from coverage, then you live and die by your decision, right? So I would say Hurts simply for the mobility. But I mean, look, again, any given Sunday, that's what you're known for. You're a mobile threat. And we're a run first offense. Our run opens up the pass in this offense. So, our run game is strong, and we stay true to our run game, which is why I think we're here. I think most would agree. This is why we're here, because we don't go away from it. We run the ball. And so I think in regards to which quarterback has the upper hand, I would say Hurts, but I would say San Francisco in the running game. I think we have an upper hand in the running game versus that defense. Scott says, wouldn't it be karma if the douchebag radio guy got hurt? Sure it would. Again, kick
Karma
the bedpost on your way to bed.
One specific
Karma
way.
Right. It shows up, this guy was talking about this particular matchup, and I believe karma went for that particular
the same position
team.
Group, everything.
Same position group, everything. Fuck, Jesus. That makes the hair stand up. Panama says, dude from Niner Nation called in Philly radio station this morning. He has no confidence we can beat Philly. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, why not? What was the reason? It can't just be they have A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts is mobile. Okay? It can't just be that. I understand they have Reddick, I get it. They have an epic defense. They really do. They added Sue. They added Robert Quinn. Sure. Are they a scary defense? Great. Fantastic. But guess what happens? You get rid of the ball fast enough, it's a different ball game.
Guess who also has a scary defense?
Yeah. San Francisco has a scary defense.
Guess who has the number one defense in the league?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I guess the guy from Niners Nation, it is what it is. I have confidence, Sin. I'm right there with you, fam. I have confidence.
If we can play our style of 49ers football, I have all the confidence in the world in this team.
Agreed. Because I think our style of football is essentially the reason why this team went from being 3-4 to top of the division in the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not gonna look. Believe what you believe, right? Panama, that's my thing, and I'm sure you agree, right? Believe what you believe, but you're not gonna make me think differently because of it. I'm nervous for all my own reasons, right? I'm nervous because, to be honest with you, I'm nervous because I don't want this to end, right? For my own selfish reason, I don't want this to end. Not because I'm not even worried about the matchup, so to speak. Sure. Is A.J. Brown a threat? Yes. So is George Kittle. So is Brandon Ayuk.
So is
McCaffrey. So is Mitchell. Mason can be.
Debo's
a threat. Jawan Jennings is a problem. Juszczyk can be a problem. Trent Williams is great. Mike McGlinchey can be good. He can be booty crack.
Problem.
Shit. He can be a problem, but he's a problem in his own way. He's a problem negative. He's a negative problem, right? So I guess, like, for your own reasons, don't let anyone distract you and say, to me, it doesn't make a difference. I'm nervous because I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Okay. And I'm going to take, now I've already told you, Mariah, what happened to me versus Dallas, what I did. But I get to share it with my channel tonight. So, you get to join in yet again on the story. For all the reasons that I'm nervous with my own team. Okay. Guys, I came home versus the Dallas game, right? I got home. I really wanted to see this game. I'm going bananas. I'm yelling at Allison. I'm telling her to get the game on. What's going on? What's happening? What am I missing? I'm trying to get my chef pants off, and I'm trying to get empty my pockets on the counter and do my thing, right? I want to get in my gear and I want to watch my football team. So I have a Benchmade knife. For those of you that are into hunting gear or know your knives, Benchmade makes a very sharp knife. Okay. It's a straight blade. It comes in a plastic sheath, and I had it in my my lower cargo pocket on my pants, down by my just above my knee. And I'm nervous and I'm freaking out. It's Dallas. I'm tripping, right? I'm tripping. So I'm like trying to get this damn sheath out of my pocket, and I remove the knife, but not the sheath. The sheath is still in the pocket, clipped onto the pocket. So in the same motion of going down and pulling up the knife, I go back down towards the sheath to pull the sheath, and I end up stabbing myself in my fucking leg. Okay. And now I'm like, shit, Allison, I stabbed myself. She's like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, she's like, are you bleeding? I'm like, it's a hole. It's a fucking hole. It doesn't matter. Give me a bandage. She's opening up the bandage. I'm like, open the bandage. She's, what are you doing? She's like, John, I'm moving as fast as I can. So, we patch up my leg, and into the living room I go, and I'm screaming like a madman, and I'm going bananas for my team. And I've stabbed myself in the leg. I need stitches, but I'm not getting stitches because I'm going to watch San Francisco versus Dallas. Long story short, I end up going to get stitches the next day. Monday afternoon, I get stitches because, I was careless, and I was in a hurry, and I was fucking bananas because I'm nervous, fam. Panama, I'm nervous. This is what I'm telling you. I get nervous, right? And not because anybody's telling me that Dallas is going to beat me, but because I want to watch my team. I'm a diehard Niner fan, and I wanted to see, and I was distracted, and I fucked myself up a little bit, but I'm good, and everything's great. So moral of the story is, don't fucking stick a leg in your knife, and don't stick a knife in your leg, and don't let anybody distract you. Behind in some of these comments, where are we? We have a good team too. Sin says, "You're damn right we do, Sin, and the number one defense, right?" Scott says, "What is the point spread in this game? What is the point spread?"
I think 2.5.
2.5. Play the way Washington played them and come out with a W, Vince says. Yeah, that's fair. Eagles favored 2.5. Philly out for fear us. Philly out to fear us. They should. Everybody should. You should say that about your respective team no matter what, right? I would have thought it was 5 or 6. I know you would, Scott. I know you would. Jason Vaughn, Fish, very true. Jalen played Purdy in 2019. Purdy had 6 touchdowns, no turnovers. It's going to be a good game overall. I agree with you. Laney, what's up, family? Good to see you. You always need to believe in your team. Always Chiefs Kingdom. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely true. I noticed the teams that beat the Eagles, Saints, Dallas, Washington did it by running the ball. Wake up, Kyle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool Nick says Benchmade makes sick blades. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The point spread is basically a pick'em game. Yeah, I mean, what is it? The home field advantage, they typically get
3 points. Right? Yeah.
So JT says super glue that shit, man. I thought about it, bro. But then, Nick's a nurse, and he came over and he looked at it and he's like, John, I mean, what are you doing? You need stitches. Like, you can't, you want my professional opinion, or do you want me to do, I know you're just going to do whatever you want to do, but I think you should get stitches. So that's what I did. Scott says, if you could wait a day, you didn't need stitches. Yeah, I guess. I mean, in my mind, I'm not going to walk the runway, so I'm not really worried about my leg. It is what it is. Vince says pretty much you get 3 points for being the home team. Yes, sir. Panama, she agrees. Cool Nick says the difference in the original Bay teams, 49ers fans stabbed themselves, Raider fans stabbed other people. Oh, shit. Oh, my man, Scott, Nick, Cool Nick, you're always good for a laugh, brother. You always know when to fit them in. Good one, bro. That's a classic. I need to save that. That's a good one, man. Bash, what's up, brother? We see you, fam. So, listen, we're about to wrap this up. Like, I want you to give me your final thoughts. Chat, I want you to give me your final thoughts. Tell me, man. Tell me what you think, Mariah. What are your final thoughts? Just of everything. Just summarize the postseason and just give me your best shot. I want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it doesn't end here, but it's been a hell of a ride. I never would have thought, at the start of our season, the way it started, that we would be here at the NFC Championship again. I remember doing some shows, instant reaction shows, after a couple of those first tough losses, and we're talking about, should we start trading our star talent away because maybe this team isn't as good as we thought it was going to be, right? Well, how things change. 3 quarterbacks later, here we are, and man, it's been a hell of a season. This team has really showed up week in and week out and played for each other. When you listen to the things, the videos that come out from our locker room, from our mic'd up, different things that the team releases, you can genuinely feel that this team has love for each other. And not just the offense and the defense and defense. This is special teams, offense, defense, all, with each other, and it's just a really good group of guys. There's so much talent on this team, and it would be terrible if it ends this weekend. So I really hope that they can go into Philly and take care of business. It's not going to be any cakewalk by any means. It's going to be a tough game, but I think if anybody can beat them, it's going to be us. So hopefully next week we'll be looking forward to playing the Bengals or the Chiefs. As far as the Chiefs and Bengals game, I just hope, whatever it is, it's a good game. For everybody's sake in here and all the Kansas City fans, I hope you guys win. I hope that Mahomes makes it through the game without hurting himself more. And that, in both games, everybody just makes it through healthy, right? We don't need any more injury scares and crazy shit to happen. No. Let's just get get through a good weekend of football, and may the best teams win.
Yeah, I agree. First and foremost, health. I wish all 4 teams nothing but the best, man. Health above all. I always emphasize it because I don't want to see anybody suffer what Pollard suffered, or what we suffered in San Francisco: a broken ankle, a broken foot, torn ACLs. I'm tired of it. The turf thing is real. Like that shit should be league wide, right? We don't need turf. And it goes without saying, Andy Reid is not going to let Cincinnati just come in and, have their way. He's too creative.
Right.
He's so creative. I know he's got things planned for this. He probably planned for this before this even got here, before we got here. You know what I mean? That being said, naturally, I want to see Patty Mahomes stay upright, healthy. I hope that ankle is doing well. Do we know what grade his ankle is? What is he, is it a grade 2? Is it a grade 3? What's going on with that? How is he?
I'm not sure.
Tell us, chat fans. I want to know. I want to know, how is he doing? You guys are following it day to day. And the same thing for us, Mariah. I just want health. Health for me, it's health. And I want McGlinchey to stay upright and don't embarrass us.
Yeah.
I really want the right side of the line to be really really great. I think that this season has been incredible for us. It's a hell of a story for the NFL. If you're not a 49er fan, and you don't dislike the 49ers, it's great. You have your own team. I don't doubt it. But be honest with me. Did you like the story of Brock Purdy? Are you guys, does it interest you? You know, have you been following the Brock Purdy situation? Because nobody can call him a fraud. Not a soul can call Brock Purdy a fraud. I mean, it is what it is, but it's to me the story and all the excitement that he's brought this fan base. He's a humble kid. He's a young kid. He's poised and he's confident, and he needs it, because you know what? Behind all that confidence and all of that he's quiet. He's a quiet dude with like, you know, playing sports. The quiet dudes with all the confidence that don't project that confidence, like they're just humble, but they're quiet and humble. They're dangerous. They were always dangerous. Growing up, playing sports, those guys were the guys that you feared because they don't show the emotion. They don't wear their emotions on their sleeves. So Brock Purdy is he's a silent assassin, in my opinion. You know, he was laying down low. You know, everybody made all this crazy controversy about Trey and Jimmy and this and that, and we just went back and forth, this and that. Meanwhile, you've got this young kid who's just talented and waiting to show it. And he is not disappointed. So with that being said, Purdy is in fact my X factor versus Philadelphia, believe it or not. I believe in this kid. I mean, I truly believe that if he can get the protection against this defense, and I think we're gonna give up. We're gonna give up some stupid shit. I just hope it's not. I just hope it's nothing over the top, and it's not consistent. Like, I don't want to see consecutive deep threats. I just don't. Like, I don't think my heart can handle watching them give up, flip the field on a 60-yard gain. Can't handle that. Like, I will lose my shit. Like, Breezy was like, I don't understand what breaking your TV does. Did you see that post? He's like, I don't know what breaking your listen, I can break a TV. I can break shit. I can break a lot of shit. I know where these people are coming from. Like, when if they're not doing it for clicks and TikTok and all that other shit, I can break shit without telling the world I did it. I can. There are stories that I have broke shit, but it wasn't posted all over social media because I wasn't proud. I was pissed. But listen, I wish everyone, all you Cincinnati fans out there, all you 49er fans, all you Kansas City fans, and all of you Philadelphia fans, I wish you guys the best of luck, the best of health. I want to see San Francisco. I want to see San Francisco, Kansas City, Mariah. I really, really do. I really, really want that matchup again. I want it again because it fucked me up. And I think we're a better team this time around. I think we're a better team, and I think your dog knows that we're a better team this time around. I think he agrees completely. He says San Francisco is, in fact, the better team this year than they were in 2019. They are, in fact, the better 49ers defense. And offensively, I think we're incredible.
Here's what I found.
We didn't ask you, but you want to tell us?
The dog, Siri, everybody has something to say.
Everybody's got something to say, goddammit, but no one's saying anything about San Francisco. Okay. So, Mariah, I appreciate you, fam. Thanks for jumping on. You've been on my A1 since day one, fam, and I appreciate you, man. Thanks for thanks for filling in for the guys. You know, God willing, Tony, you get better, my man. Nick, I really hope that you're back next Tuesday. Don't come back to me telling me you can't do the show on Tuesdays, because I'll find someone else to replace your ass if I have to. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Big Doug, good to see you, family. Chrissy, good to see you. Thank you, guys. Big Doug says your rookie quarterback is looking like he's got the job locked up for the next year or two. You know, he's doing great, man. There are a lot of us that believe that Trey Lance deserves a fair opportunity. We really do want to see Trey Lance get an opportunity in camp to compete for that job. But I'd be lying to you if I told you, you know, it's hard to say it's not, right? It's awfully hard to say it's not. So, you know, with that being said, I think that most of us that are 49er fans can agree that we really hope that Trey Lance gets an opportunity to compete for that job, and may the best man win, right? Brock Purdy, we are certainly not doubting you. We're behind you 100. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for coming out here. Thanks for supporting us. Thank you all for chopping it up. It doesn't go unnoticed, and the fellas and I and Mariah appreciate it. Anything else you got to say, Mariah? Plug the
JB,
channel.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You know, anytime you need me, I'll be here. Tony, hope you feel better. Nick, yeah, whatever. Chat, appreciate you guys being here. You guys can find me, my co-host TL, on YouTube at 49 Faithfully. Yeah, appreciate you guys coming through. Say hey. We'd love to have you guys. Thanks again,
All right,
JB.
fam.
Appreciate you.
You got it. Later, Mariah. Take care. To all my family in the chat, thank you guys for rocking out with us another Tuesday. I couldn't do it without you. Thanks for being great. Take care, family.